Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing a video I call, What if Fire Lord Sozen was the Avatar? Now this is one that can be really chill, which you might think, oh, Fire Lord Sozen, the Avatar? If he was the Avatar, then he would have used it to finish the war before it even started. But it's actually much more different than you think. Now, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my Chromebook charger. It's the only computer I have, but it's for school, and it won't really matter. Alright. Put that in. And this is plugged in. Alright, now, okay, what I like about laptops is you just plug them in. When they're dead, you just have to plug them in and they'll turn right back on. Caps lock on. Now, you might be wondering, wait, some Chromebooks don't, I don't know if the more recent ones have caps lock. But this one doesn't, and I'm using a separate keyboard. So, let's start. What? Okay, how am I supposed to specify it? What does it mean to be the Avatar? What does it mean to be the Avatar? I didn't get anything. No. What does it mean to be the Avatar in The Last Airbender? Okay, there we go, finally. Alright. Okay. Is the Avatar always an Airbender? Every Avatar is an Airbender. How did Sokka die in The Last Airbender? How many hours is in The Last Airbender? Alright, I can't find anything, but I'm just gonna say it from memory. Being the Avatar, you are fused with Rava, the spirit of light and peace. And remember in The Legend of Korra, okay, spoiler warning, okay, I'm sorry. I already spoiled Legend of Korra by saying who Rava was. So, sorry, spoiler warning. In season 2, okay, I'm gonna wait, if you haven't seen The Legend of Korra season 2, go and watch that before you watch this part. And starting. When Unalaq fused with Vaatu to become a dark avatar, that doesn't mean he suddenly became bad. Vaatu was a bad spirit. He is the spirit of darkness and chaos. So he's not going to be a good person. So let's say that Avatar was reincarnated. It'd just be like Rava, except a little different. That Avatar would be a bad person from the start of their life. And that's how it would be. And let's say that if that did happen, but they were never the Avatar. They were never the Dark Avatar. They might be a nice person. That's the same thing with the Avatar. Avatar Roku could have been a bad person, actually. And that means Fire Lord Sozen would have been a peace bringer and not a Fire Lord of destruction. He would bring balance because that's his job as the Avatar. He's fused with Rava, which means when he's fused with Rava, that means he's at peace and not at war with other people. So it's going to be peaceful. It's going to be a peaceful life. But that's not it. So, let's continue. So, Roku would be a nobody. Just like he was before he found out he was the Avatar. But instead of being a loser until he was 16, he'd be a loser for the rest of his life. That is very, very crucial in the world of Avatar. That means, well, the person he was in love with fell in love with him because he became the Avatar and wasn't a nobody anymore. And his future wife never noticed him until she knew he was the Avatar. So and here's what changes. He might have never married Tommen. I'm guessing that wouldn't happen. So there's so much that will not happen, and it's crazy. But that's a little different. Zuko's grandmother on his mother's side wouldn't have been born. That means Zuko's mom wouldn't have been born. And that means Zuko wouldn't have been born. And that means Fire Lord Azumi wouldn't have been born. And same with General Iroh Jr. I don't know what to call him. I'm just going to call him Iroh who sounds like Zuko. So yeah. And I'm not done there. There would be a lot more stuff that won't happen. So, okay, this is going to be very different. It's going to be a very different ending if this all went according to, well, if this all went like I'm saying. Now, Fire Lord Sozen lived to be 80 years old because, he lived to be, and I think he lived to be in his 80s or something, or at least close to his 80s. I think he lived to be, they said he died old, so he would have died in his 90s. I'm guessing he would have died in his 90s or something. That means that means Aang would never have been the Avatar. So that's a lot of difference. That means Aang would have never run away. That means the whole Air Nation wouldn't have been wiped out. And that's just so much more crazy. And that means Bumi, Kaya, and Tenzin would have never existed. And Aang would have never met Katara. And it would turn out a whole lot different. That also means that, it also means, the Republic City would never exist. Neither will the United Republic of Nations. And that means after Roku would just be a normal air nomad. Now, let's say the air nomad was Aang's son, if he ever did have a son, if this all went according to plan. Then technically he would be, he wouldn't be technically the Avatar, but it'd be pretty cool. But there's a little bit more. So Sozen dies, then an air nomad Avatar comes. And then that Avatar dies. And then a Waterbender Avatar will come. That doesn't mean that it will be Korra. Now, if it were to be Korra, here's how it would go out. That Avatar would have to be like Kyoshi to live to 230 years old. Or higher than that. Actually, that Avatar would have to be at least 180 years old for Korra to be the Avatar after that Airbender. And, okay, I'm just gonna say this. Her mother was an air nomad, so that does mean it is probably possible, but she was also part Earthbender. And she inherited her father's earthbending side. And, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what nation you are from. I think you can still live to be a long time. Just like Kyoshi did. And I'm just gonna say this. They're gonna be a whole lot different. And also, I forgot to mention this. The Southern Water Tribe would still have all of its waterbenders that wouldn't be descendants of people from the north. Actually, there would be some descendants of people from the north, but to become a waterbender, you wouldn't have to be a descendant from the North. So yeah, that's a whole lot different. And that's just one thing changes. It's like this YouTube video I saw called "What If Lu Ten Never Died?" If you didn't know, Lu Ten was Iroh's son, and that would be a whole lot different as well. But the YouTuber made a video, I didn't, and I'm not gonna steal the idea. So I'm just gonna say this. I love Avatar. It's a great series. Fire Lord Sozen was a ruthless man, killed innocent airbenders just to stop the Avatar from getting out of his way. Now, I wish that another YouTuber did this topic, but nobody else has done it, so I decided to do it myself. So then I thought, okay, and I came up with this. By the way, this is not a script or anything. This is just me telling you what I remember from when I thought about it. So yeah, it's pretty cool that it would be very weird that Fire Lord Sozen would be the Avatar. Oh, sorry. But it would still turn out a whole lot different. And it's gonna be it would be so much different. Wow. Actually, no. Korra might never exist, though. Because her father was from the North, and we don't really know much about her mother, except we do get to see her in some scenes. But not a whole lot. We don't really get to know much about her. But I'm guessing that she was originally from the South. And there would be so much different. It would be so much different. Okay, I'm thinking. Who would come to save Bolin during the Equalist rally? Not Korra. She might not even exist. She wouldn't be the Avatar and wouldn't use her bending to stop them. Because she might not exist, but she would just be a waterbender, not an earth, water, fire, and airbender. She wouldn't be the Avatar. So yeah, it's a whole lot of different stuff, and that means it'll mess up a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I saw this prologue for a YouTube series called The Legend of Genji, which is a spin-off of The Legend of Korra. It's a fan-made spin-off, and it's said to release in 2020. We're already 9 months into 2020. Actually, 10 months. We're over 3/4 away from 2020, and it's not done. And they said due to COVID and stuff. But yeah. And that means if that fan-made spin-off, if that happened in that fan-made spin-off, then yeah, it would turn out a whole lot different. And that means Genji wouldn't be the next Avatar after Korra. Trying to think. There's a lot of stuff that would be different. But I also had this weird thought. What was his name? Not Tarlok. You know, I noticed that there's so many names in the Northern Water Tribe that end in OK. Tarlok, Noatok, Tonrok, Unalak. There's so many. But Tonrok was his name. It would sort of make sense that that Tonrok would be related to Princess Yue. It would make sense. But that's a story for another day, and I might have to do some research or something. Actually, it wouldn't be another video. I'm not going to make it, but that's a weird thought to think. Is Tonrok related to Princess Yue? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll never find out. Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Conexco. haven't really. I'm too lazy to Google it. But I don't think they will reveal if they're related or not, or how Sokka died, or anything about that. But they also haven't revealed when Avatar: The Last Airbender takes place in the Legend of Korra. I don't think I said at the beginning of this video. I think I was going to, but then I forgot. So I'm just going to say this real quick. I did my own research. It took me an hour a few weeks ago. And I came up with the answer of my research for The Legend of Korra, 1790, not The Legend of Korra. For Avatar: The Last Airbender, 1797, and The Legend of Korra, 1867. Might be saying, oh, I believe in Google because Google is always right. Okay, Screen Rant did not make Google. Screen Rant said that it takes place in 99 to 100 AG. My research doesn't add up. You might say, oh, it's a fantasy world, it doesn't matter. It incorporates real life aspects. Like, firebenders can lightning bend, waterbenders can earth... No, waterbenders can earth bend. Waterbenders can blood bend and ice bend. Earthbenders can metal bend and lava bend. It all makes sense. And I'm just gonna say this. Screen Rant, you're wrong. It does not take place in AG. That is thousands and thousands of years before the stuff that takes place in Legend of Korra was invented. And it says, and the Legend of Korra takes place after 70 years after the 100-Year War ends. And that's still way too far behind for it to be with all the technology that it has. So, really, Screen Rant, get your facts right. I also looked up what year does Legend of Korra take place in. It said that it takes place in 1920 to 1923. Now, my original measurement was that the beginning of the Legend of Korra takes place in 1918, and this video is getting a little too long. But that was actually from a website I've heard about before. I think. I can't remember. And that's wrong. The information doesn't add up. You know, I would have agreed with Screen Rant if the Legend of Korra never existed. But, I'm not going to do another video on how I got all my research for when it takes place. I'm just going to end the video. Goodbye.